I'm too exhausted to dance.
I had a nap.
But Chip's not, and neither is Anne.
I had the rest of my chai latte.
Oh, yeah, you're all fired up on caffeine.
I feel
That's awesome. Happy Saturday, everyone. That's right. You've not entered an alternate universe where there's 2 Saturdays or no Sundays. It's just that we had to have a show on Saturday today. So we are coming to you live on a Saturday because we can. Because we can. So, and Chip couldn't be with us tomorrow, so we're doing this tonight.
Exactly.
And we are glad because it's been a full day.
Awesome.
Let's be honest. It's been a full day. Yeah, it's been super fun. So as you can see and hear, Chip Moehle is with us today. Entertainment expert, Chip Moehle. And
Hello.
you guys, entertainment is not just TV or movies or theater or music. Entertainment can also be Grange fairs from St. Joe County, Michigan, from Centerville, Michigan. So now, Chip, let me ask you, how many Grange fairs have you been to in your life?
Just the one. Today.
What? Are you telling me that this was your first fair?
No. Oh, our Grange Fair. I thought you meant that was the city. No. No, I know that I went to a county fair when I was much younger, probably like 48 years ago, maybe.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm glad we were able to bring that back into your life.
Yes.
To your
yes.
life. Yeah, that was so for those of you that don't know what we were up to today, you missed the promo. Ann and Chip and I went to the St. Joe County Fair, the annual Grange Fair in Centerville, Michigan. Today was the very last day of the fair, so we managed to spend a few hours there. And so that's what we're talking about today. We're talking about the St. Joe County Fair and how fun it still is. And Chip, who is our entertainment expert, will give us his expert entertainment opinions on the things that he saw and smelled and tasted at the St. Joe County Fair. Because there are a wide array of all of those things.
And everything there is it's very bold. There's nothing subtle about a county fair.
No. It's the word you're looking for, Anne, is onslaught. Okay.
Exactly. You kind of don't know where to look or put your nose. Yeah, exactly.
No. I found myself exhausted from having my head on a swivel for many reasons, and we'll talk about some of those reasons coming up.
Totally.
So shall we get to it, Anne? Shall we jump into our festivities? There it is, the St. Joe County Fair. That's a great picture of a fair midway, Ann Brothers. You did a good job there.
I thought it too. I thought it was bold. It captures the excitement, the drama.
Yeah, the drama. Yes. I thought so too. Yeah. Their motto this year was the St. Joe County Fair, let the good times grow at the fair. Yeah. I'm like those clever bastards. So yes.
Exactly. Good marketing. Good marketing.
Good marketing. Good job, you guys. You gotta, if you're gonna have a fair, then you gotta have a good motto. Marketing is important. So there you go. All right, Anne, you want to take us through our synopsis so people know what they're in for today?
I certainly would love to. So welcome or welcome back to the Brother Sister Smart Dumb Fun. We are Anne and Janice Brothers. Our last name is Brothers, and we are sisters. All the truth of nonfiction, but all the fun of fiction.
That's true, Anne. And I would also like to point something out that the brother sisters that you are seeing on the show, Only Murders in the Building, they're not us.
No,
they're not us.
They should be. It would have been a great pick for them to pick us to be in that show because we're better.
And we were first. Just like they
And we have a podcast. And let's be honest, we trademarked our name. Let's go. High five.
Yeah.
Let's go. Yep.
Yeah.
In fact, we trademarked the whole thing, Brother Sister Smart Dumb Fun. So there you go.
But
yeah.
So,
sorry, Anne, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, that's no problem. We're in our 50s, which makes us Generation X, which means that no one asked us what we thought or how we felt until we were in our late 20s.
That is a true statement.
Yeah, nobody cared what kids thought or felt during the 70s and 80s.
And do you ever recall being asked what we wanted for dinner?
Oh, no.
For birthdays.
No.
Maybe for a birthday. Okay, that was. No, it was never. As if my opinion mattered. Our opinion mattered. As if we're like. And the funny thing is, like when you're raised that way, you believe that your opinion doesn't matter.
Well, no, it never occurred to me. Like when Dad would
Never.
say we're going out to eat, we went so rarely. It was
Oh.
never where are we going? It was we're going out to
We're
eat.
out to eat.
What?
That's true. I did get asked where I would like to go because I had a phase where I just loved hot dogs. Couldn't eat enough hot dogs to save my life. So I was always like, let's go to the place where I had the good hot dog.
Can you imagine Mike and Cynthia taking us to a place that had hot dogs?
Yeah, neither of them liked hot dogs very much, so no. Yeah, we didn't have a lot of options in Sturgis, Michigan. It was either Pizza Hut or Chicken Coop. Or
It was-
Chicken Coop.
It
And
was
Pizza
Pizza Hut. It was Pizza Hut if you wanted something fancy.
Those things were kind of fancy back in the day.
Mhm.
They were, man. It was a treat when we got to go to Pizza Hut.
Yeah, and my
So,
mom wasn't a
yeah.
big fan of pizza, so Pizza Hut was not a big. We didn't go there very often.
No,
But-
once a year,
Mhm.
So yeah,
Exactly. All right. So we talk about smart stuff, dumb stuff, fun stuff, or any combination of the three, as you just witnessed.
true.
We are not cool, hip, or sexy. And we know this because I made a reference to fiction or nonfiction already in our introduction. So if we were cool, hip, or sexy, we would not have been talking about that yet. So there you go.
No, we'd be talking about TikTok.
Ooh. Is that still a thing the kids do?
Yeah, and it is
All right.
TikTok, Snapchat, and the Instagram. So
Oh.
there you go.
The gram.
The three things we're not great at.
All right. So we're not celebrity or influencer or a true crime podcast. We're more like the dollar store of podcasts, cheap and fun.
That's us. That's a
And
great
lo-
way to put it.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
yeah, because every actual celebrity has a podcast, and it's like you don't have to do anything except just be famous, and then you have a podcast to go with your fame.
It's so true.
So we're gonna do it. We're gonna do this the hard way. We're gonna have
Mhm.
a podcast before we get famous. So, and we're gonna be ahead. We're gonna be a step ahead. So
It's
yay.
very Gen X of us to do the hard work.
Yes, it is.
All right. So we're great to listen to when you want to learn things about stuff. And because you've run through our archives and you're waiting eagerly with anticipation for our latest episode. So here you go. Ta-da.
Yeah, we're
Latest
like
episode.
we're like waiting around for your next Audible credit to hit.
Ugh, I know.
I know I've got like 2 days. 2 days. That's just how much I love you, Joe. Because I gave you my last Audible credit. Now I had to
I've
wait.
got like
so.
2.5 hours left on my book. And I was like, I have to make that stretch until the 29th.
Ooh, you're in way
I
worse
don't think
shape
it's going to
than I am.
happen. I don't think it's going to happen. All right. This podcast is not G, PG, or even PG-13, especially this episode, because we went to the fucking fair and it was amazing.
Fuck yeah, it was. Yeah. I was really worried today that it wouldn't be good, that I was going to be super sad. I'm like, it's
Oh.
not the way it used to be. And it was like, yeah, man, it's still awesome. It really
It's
is.
still
Wait, we have commentary. We have people watching today. Wait, I have to get who's with us. We have Joe Peters with us.
Joe
and
Peters.
Joe Peters is thanking me. He's my husband, and he's the one that got the last Audible credit. So, baby, that's how much I love you. I love you so much. I give you the last Audible credit.
It's a
okay?
romance for the times.
Exactly.
I know. Really, it is. I'm like, that's a love story that just
Yeah.
keeps on loving.
Enduring.
I'm going to write that for Lifetime. We're going to see your story on Lifetime Network
Wait, let me see.
or Hallmark.
Which
Hallmark.
one? Which one is? Am I the businesswoman from the city that goes back to her agricultural farm crush, or is Joe the big city businessman that comes back and falls in love with his agricultural high school
Ooh,
crush?
I think we'll go that direction. I like that.
Okay,
Ooh,
good,
that's
good.
good.
So
That's
we're gonna flip the script then.
Yeah,
That's good.
Yeah, may as well
So,
make it interesting.
Wait, now in the movie, does he get the last Audible credit, or do I get the last Audible credit?
Well, you'll have to tune in to find out.
Exactly.
Oh no, he didn't.
Well, I'd watch that movie with a bottle of with a big frosé.
Oh, Joe's the laid back lumberjack.
There you go. The LLL, the LBL.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
All right. So join us on
I think.
our Go ahead, Jenny.
Sorry, I'm still laughing over the lumberjack thing. I'm like, yeah, I'm definitely the one that gets the Audible credit. Okay.
I don't know. I thought you were the lumberjack.
I could be.
All right. So join us on our website, Spotify, Apple Podcast, iHeartRadio, and Amazon Music. And you can like us, follow us, hit the bell, leave us a review, give us your feedback with our questions and answers and our polls. And you can ask Alexa to play us, and she'll do it because she's. What is it? She's a what do they call it on Ferris Bueller's Day Off? She's a righteous dude.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, I just got to go back to this one thing. I would definitely be the lumberjack because Joe introduced me to a new word this week, and it could be used to describe me because I'm doodly.
Doodly. That
No,
may
Jenny.
just be the last name of your character in the script.
Ooh.
Ooh. Very good.
I need a good something doodly. Diane Doodley.
Ooh.
Renee Doodley. I can't
Deborah
think of one.
Doodley.
Did you say
Charisse
Charisse?
Doodley. Yes.
Charisse Doodley. Okay,
Charisse
good.
Doodley.
Dude, this is practically writing itself.
Yeah, see?
Oh
Fuck you,
man,
AI.
oh, man. Exactly. Come up with this clever thing. You loser.
The computer's like, I can't write this.
Yeah.
Exactly. I was like, reject.
We broke AI. Ha ha.
The human mind will always outsmart AI.
Sorry,
with our
AI.
cleverness.
Sorry.
Oh, geez.
Yes, that's right, you guys. We are off to a flying start. And because of that, you absolutely should support us by subscribing, liking us on Spotify, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, so we can continue to talk about stuff like this while you listen.
Mhm.
Do it.
Now.
Do it.
Do it now.
Because, and again, you guys, you can share this with your people that you like or don't like, because you can be like, hey, if there's somebody you don't like, listen to this great podcast. And then all of a sudden you fooled them into liking us. Ha ha.
Exactly. And now we have you in our clutches forever.
That's right. It's all it takes, So there you go. Here we go. Let's talk about smart, dumb, fun stuff. Chip, I forgot to send you this today. I'm the worst. So,
No.
but and talk us through the smart, dumb, fun stuff that you encountered this week.
Well, it was I encountered the capybaras. Not that I was unaware of their existence, but I was scrolling through my Facebook, which is mostly as we know, wombat videos and cat videos, and sometimes what is it? The little slow animals, the
Sloths.
Sloths.
They're
sloth
sloths.
videos, bat videos. And today I watched a capybara video, and I was like, oh, okay, now I found my new favorite rodent. These guys, I watched. They had videos of them swimming underwater because they can hold their breath for 5 minutes.
Whoa.
God.
I
And they
didn't know
even have
that.
like little webbed toes and stuff, and they're super, super sociable. And if they don't have other capybaras to hang out with, they'll hang out with other animals, and they sleep in piles. And they even had like the video of the little babies riding on their moms' backs in the water. It was so darn cute. I was like, all right, I'm a fan. And then I found this little toy on Amazon. I was like, oh, me wanty. So,
Is that a
it was-
capybara wearing a backpack?
yes, Jenny, it
Okay.
is.
It's
That's
going
what I
back to
thought. I'm
school.
like,
It's going back to school because he's super social. They're the world's largest rodent. Yeah, you find them in South America. They're just so darn cute, and so I was very taken with them. Actually, I was really taken with Mr. Bouncy Pig today too, but I didn't want to have two bouncy pigs. So there we go. That was my fun. It was like, oh man, people suck. Capybaras are great.
I need to get you that capybara wearing a backpack. That way you can take a picture of it at the beginning of every school year, like the parents do with their kids. They're like, first day of first grade, or first day of eighth grade, or first day of senior year. And you can do that with your capybara. It'd be like first day of second grade with its little tiny backpack. And then each year you can get it a new and different backpack.
You're like, can't believe it's been 8 years.
Oh, I love that idea so much.
I
Yeah,
knew you would.
so-
I'm like, this idea will appeal to Ann Brothers in every way, shape, and form.
For
So,
decades, Jenny, for decades. I'm like, I'll get him a
Yes.
little mortarboard when he graduates from
Yep.
college, and
Oh,
I'll take
yeah,
his
that's
picture
awesome.
at Eastern Michigan University when he goes
Totally.
off, when he goes to my alma mater.
Okay, so my smart dumb fun was it's all three of those things. It's smart, it's dumb, it's fun. It's Mudang, otherwise known as Bouncy Pig, which is the baby pygmy hippo from the Khao Kiao Open Zoo in Chonburi, Thailand. This little critter is sweeping the world right now. This is a worldwide juggernaut. So much so that the NFL is even making memes about this baby hippo. So yeah, people are losing their shit over this thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So much so that the zoo, and it's not a very big zoo, it's actually a small zoo, but they've done such a good job about marketing that they had literally hundreds of thousands of submissions for names for this thing. And so they finally settled on Bouncy Pig, Mudang. And yeah, can't stop watching videos. Like if you feel sad, watch a video of a baby hippo. If you feel glad, watch video of baby hippo. It's like I am now programmed to worship at the altar of baby hippo.
Totally serotonin upload. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. No, it was Jenny sent me a video because I was unaware of the phenomenon, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is everything I like." Baby hippos in water, baby hippos eating food, baby hippos biting his keeper's knees.
That's
Baby hippo standing on mom's food. So yeah,
Yeah, loving
commanding
baby hippo
attention.
getting a bath, So
Yep. Yes. Yeah, so dumb and so amazing. And yeah, Mudang and just Bouncy Pig. I'm changing my name to Bouncy Pig, and I'm gonna get a bouncy tattoo pack. I'm gonna get a Bouncy Pig back tattoo. So that's my next thing.
Bouncy Pig tramp stamp.
You took the words right out of my mouth, Chip. Bouncy Pig tramp stamp. Damn. Yeah.
Damn, because nothing says tramp stamp like Bouncy Pig.
Yeah, it's a true statement, yo. True
Very
statement.
true.
All right, so we better talk about the fair. Let's talk about what we came here for, which is the St. Joe County Fair in Centerville, Michigan. It's the Grange Fair. It's been happening for a really long time. I'm going to take you through some fun facts. Can I do that?
Please
All right, fun facts about the St. Joseph County Fair. It's ranked among the top 5 fairs in Michigan, and it's kind of a legendary fair. It began in 1851-ish, established in 1849, and they finally got around to having the fair in 1851. And it went through its peaks and valleys. So it was kind of around for a while and kind of got going and then kind of fizzled out sort of in the 1870s and then really fizzled out in the early 1900s. And then they kind of brought it back around 1916. The original group that owned it kind of went under, and then the Grange picked it up. And it wasn't super popular. It was one of those things where it was basically just to sell livestock. It was really what it was all about, just getting your pigs and your cows sold and that sort of thing. So it kind of started to pick up again in 1916. They built this nice grandstand, and it promptly burned down in 1920. So, because, fire did that back in the day a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So they rebuilt the bandstand. They got electricity into the fair. Now, it's interesting because when they rebuilt the bandstand, because they rebuilt some like rough-hewn version of it, and nobody really liked it. So they rebuilt it for real. By using lumber from the 1935 Chicago World's Fair. So after they dismantled that fair, they had all this extra lumber laying around. So a couple guys from Centerville went out and bought a bunch of lumber from them, and then had them cut the boards to size so that they could just take it back to Centerville and rebuild their brand spanking new grandstand. And I'm pretty sure that one burned down too, eventually. But
several of them did.
Yeah, I want to say they're on like their 5th or 6th grandstand or something ridiculous like that. But these things happen again. Fire bad. So after the grandstand was rebuilt, they brought electricity to the fair, which was not super successful because they drew the electricity from the town, and they had to convince the residents of the town to turn off all their lights during the evenings of the fair so that they could have light at the fair, because then it was like 4 light bulbs and it did not go well. So
my God.
So it's the second to the last fair of the season, and Hillsdale County has the last fair of the season. I'm like, Hillsdale, who cares, right?
Who cares?
And then it's a large size fairground, 105 acres, which is a big fairground, especially for a county fair. So good job, St. Joe County Fair. The original acreage was about 16 acres, and they expanded that through time to its current 105 acres. Wow. And I'm pretty sure we walked all of that today. So
oh my God.
There you go.
Okay, I'm stronger than I knew.
Yeah.
Yes, good job. I know. We did the work. We put the work in.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I also wanted to add a little bit of information about 4-H. A big part of the Grange Fair is its association with 4-H. So 4-H is a U.S.-based network. It's a youth organization whose mission is engaging youth to reach their fullest potential while advancing the field of youth development. Their motto is head, heart, hands, and health, and it's to make the best better. And then finally, their slogan is to learn by doing. So it was founded in 1912-ish, and you see the stamp of 4-H all over the fair. The fairs are associated with things like elephant ears and fun and deep fried food and all of that and corn dogs and all of that. But really, the mission of the fair was A, livestock, and B, allowing 4-H kids to kind of show their wares. And so you still see a lot of that imprint. And one of the things I noticed is that there's not a lot of 4-H. When we were growing up, Ann and I were 4-H girls. But we were kind of out of the ordinary because we were city girls who did 4-H. So we weren't country. Most of the 4-H kids all they lived on farms, they had livestock, and that's was their. You wouldn't see those kids at all during Fair Week. But because Ann and I were city kids, we did other forms of 4-H. So we did gardening, we did baking, we did first aid, we did
That's where I learned to sew. That's where I learned
That's
to
right, we did
knit.
sewing. Yep.
I had 2 years where I put in my creative writing. So
Ooh,
nice.
okay.
Yep. So there was things for all of us, and then you went to we had monthly 4-H meetings where you went and just talked about stuff and learned stuff, and then during the season you had different things that you could do. Like I said, during the summer we would take like baking and first aid, and then during the winter you would do things like knitting and sewing. And I did latch hook because latch hook was the best.
Yeah.
we went to 4-H camp in the summer.
Yeah, that was super fun.
Oh, it was super fun.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, it's where Jenny and I learned to square dance.
Yeah, it's awesome. And yeah, square dancing is shockingly fun. And you wouldn't think, you're like, oh, square dancing's for squares. And then you do it, you're like, it's the funnest. It really is. So it's a good workout too. So that's one of the cool things. It's not as prominent. You still see a lot of livestock. There was a ton of livestock there today. Every livestock barn was full to the brim.
Yeah.
But there's not as much. There's only a single building now that's dedicated to those other crafts, sewing, latch hook, baking, all those other things, which kind of bummed me out a little bit, but not too badly. It's just, everybody's doing other things, and it's a shame because I think, some of the coolest things that you'll learn by doing in 4-H. Their slogan is the real deal. I'm like, you learn by doing, and that's it. So I put the 4-H pledge here. This is how we would start our 4-H meetings. I pledge my head to clear thinking, my heart to greater loyalty, my hands to larger service,
and my health
to
to
better
living for my club, my community,
my country, and
my world.
You have those arm gestures. That's
Yeah, that was part of it. That was the part of So
I love
anyway,
it.
it was. I have very, very good memories of 4-H, and I have a friend who he is a professor of dentistry at University of Michigan, and he said that they often look for kids in the dental program that have gone through 4-H because they usually are quite successful and know how to complete a task given with a given amount of time. So they know how to meet a deadline.
Yeah, because you have to. The fair is essentially your deadline because you have winter deadlines, and your summer deadline is the fair. So you have to. All of the judging happens the Saturday before the fair, so you have to have everything ready to go and ready to present. No matter what that is, it has to be, and then they actually judge it at the fair. So you can get a blue ribbon. You can
And you get money. A lot of people don't realize that every time you see a kid with a blue ribbon or a red ribbon or even a third place ribbon, they get money for the ribbons that they get. And if you place or get into the grand champion circle, then you get more money. So it actually, it's not a huge amount of money, but Jenny and I always looked forward to our cash bonuses at the end of the fair. So
totally.
And you had to write a thank you letter because all of that prize money came from donations. So you had to write a thank you letter to anybody that donated money to your prizes. You had to write them a thank you note, and they would not give you your check until you turned in your thank you notes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it was kind of fun too because you would go to judging on Saturday, and you would get judged, but you didn't know how you did. It wouldn't be till you got to the fair the next day, and you would see your stuff displayed in the cases, and you would see what color ribbon you had on it. So, which was pretty cool.
It was.
Yeah.
It was fun.
And yeah, it was fun. It was a good time, and it was one of those things that you did some growing and learning as a result of 4-H, and it's still great to see that 4-H is a big part of the Grange Fair. So that's one of the things that I think is the best about the fair. All right, so Chip, we're going to start with you today, and you're going to give us your top 5 best things. Now, are these in any particular order?
No, and unfortunately, they're not showing up on my screen.
Oh no, I got you. I haven't. I've been told by Joe Peters, by regional manager Joe Peters,
Regional
that it's
manager.
much more interesting when we do these lists of top 5 that we should do
Oh,
a reveal.
I
He's
got
not
it. Okay.
wrong.
Okay.
So, all
Yeah,
right.
no,
So here
they're
we
not
are.
in any particular order.
All right. So we'll go with here with number 5.
Okay.
Hang on, I got to get it here. Number 5.
Well, that's number 1.
I know, but now it's number 5.
Okay. Ginormous horses.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. They had the biggest, tallest, hugest horses ever. And they were so pretty and they were so lovely. And there was one I fell in love with that I think we all fell in love with. And I can't remember, was it Smoke or Smokey?
It was Smoke.
Smoke.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Sort of this grayish horse with sort of these star patterns on its hide.
Coat.
And coat, thank you.
Mhm.
You can tell I was not in 4-H.
Mhm.
And just like beautiful, soulful eyes. I didn't know. Excuse me. I didn't know if I should reach through the gate and pet it, and so I didn't. But I kind of wish I had because he was so pretty,
Mhm.
or she.
Yeah.
But yeah, those horses were very impressive.
Yeah, and they
Yeah,
had
the draft horses are huge. You have regular horses, and then you have draft horses. Those are the horses that do the pulling. So these are essentially your work horses, and they are big. They're about a size and a half of a horse, I guess. I would say that. So
You would need like
yes.
steps to get on top of it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. All right. So
So
here's your next one, Chip.
crafts, baking, and flowers. These were 3 things that I never really equated with a fair. I like just didn't realize this was part of the fair. And so I was so pleasantly surprised to see these things. Like you said, the like the latch hook rug, the different things that the kids did, pieces of art, the items that were baked, the cakes, the cake decorating, and the flowers were just amazing. You know, that somebody took the time to put this all together. Of course, we're at the very tail end of it, so the flowers were kind of failing. And I thought it would have been good if they had maybe taken photos of it when it was fresh and put that to the arrangement. But it was like just incredible the amount of things that were done and how sort of lovingly and creative it was.
That's the cool part. And you've got that both in the 4-H barns, but you also have that they have the Grange barns, which are for adults, which I think is awesome. Is that you can still do these things as an adult.
Well, and then 3 was meeting your family. You know, it was just I felt so comfortable amongst them, and they were hilarious, and I felt so welcomed, and it just made the whole fair even more fun.
Nice.
Plus, I got a little preview of where the brothers sisters came from. Like they weren't just
Okay,
hats.
why we are the way we are.
We are, yes.
But it was
Indeed.
great fun. And then, of course, handmade lemonade and deep fried Oreos. I would have thrown corn dogs on here, except the one that we had, the cornmeal was great. The dog was a little iffy. But the handmade lemonade was delicious. Like it was almost creamy without there being any reason for it to be creamy. Like it was just good. And I've never had a deep fried Oreo, so that's why I had to have one. And oh my God. I mean, it was like having a really good pancake.
Nice.
It just, yeah. And of course, you know, way too much sugar. But fortunately for me, my numbers stayed right in range. So I think I was allowed a reprieve today, so I could have those things. But
it was the corn dog that brought you down, man.
Yeah.
It totally brought you down.
Just further than that, just the food, like you said, everything is so bright and colorful. And literally, we were just going like from what do you call it, truck to truck. Like it was just like, oh, corn dogs, oh, French fries, oh, you know, waffle this, oh. And I thought, oh my God, I'm not going to make it through here without eating everything. And
yeah, you have to pace yourself.
You do have to
very
pace
well.
yourself. And I'm glad you guys kind of keyed me into that, because I would have eaten all the food at that first truck and then been like, I'm going to sit over here while you guys go do the rest of this thing.
Yeah, you got to like, oh, we'll get one thing here and one thing here and one thing over there.
When it was something, I got my big dumb cup, which I just absolutely love, and it says a belly full of fun, and that pretty much was the fair for me. It was a belly full of fun. So much good, delicious, deep fried, horrible for you food, and great fun hanging with you, which brings me to my next point. As always, hanging with you guys is always a blast. I always have such a fun time, and I tend to learn things about stuff, and today was not an exception to that. I mean, like I said, went to a fair probably 48 years ago, and back then it was not about the livestock, it was about the rides. So today was it was like a whole new world. Even the little tractor parade we saw, I was like, this is adorable. I'm trying to think, the tractor parade, and then I had mentioned to Anne how, like, I realized the cows were docile, but just like how they were all just kind of in their little pens, but the pen doesn't totally enclose them. Like, they could just be like, whoa, man, I'm free, and they could leave, but they're just there, just hanging out, having a good old time. And then also just being with you guys today, I met a lot of really cool dogs. So that was fun.
Yes, we did meet a lot of cool dogs today. I agree.
The whole sort of animal aspect of it was really cool, and the food aspect of it, and hanging out with you guys. I really had a blast. It was fun.
Good.
Nice.
Yeah. And I learned stuff.
You learned things about stuff, because that's what we do, Chip. That's who we are. So, yeah.
I count on it.
Yes. So, all right. So, Chip, I had a little bit different perspective because, of course, this has been my umpteenth county fair. So, a quick history on the Brothers family and the fair. The Grange Fair in Centerville has always been a big thing. My dad, my dad is from Centerville. My grandmother lived in Centerville. My grandma and grandpa's house was about 3 blocks from the gate of the fairground. So, and Vic and Avis brothers were institutions in Centerville. Our grandmother taught there in Centerville. So it was a big deal. We spent a lot of time. We were 4-Hers, so we spent a lot of time at the fair. But even when we weren't 4-Hers, before we started 4-H, the fair was still a big deal because, grandma's house was only a few blocks away. So you'd park at grandma's house, and you'd walk down to the fair. And I could just remember the anticipation. Like, we'd get there on a Saturday morning. We'd have to do all the preliminaries, like hugging and socializing and all this before we could get to the fair. And then you'd walk down that street and you could start to hear it and smell it. And you'd be like, oh, we're so close to the fair, And so that was like not being able to sleep the night before the fair because, like, we're going to the fair tomorrow.
And that was the nice thing about being Gen X is that, when Jenny and I hit like 7 and 8, my parents were like, here's $5. You got to share it. Don't come back until dark.
Because, we got, because grandma worked at the gate a lot of times. So we almost always got free passes. So it was just like free passes in one hand, $5 in Anne's hand, because I couldn't be trusted with it. And off we'd go, Yeah, it was amazing. And, you'd run into your parents. At some point, you would cross paths over something. But, we would pretend not to know each other. And then we'd just keep going. It was awesome.
Sometimes we get another buck out of them, and then we'd be off again.
Well, it was nice, too, because, like, you get the $5 from the parents. But then, grandma or grandpa would also slip you maybe another $5, or one of the aunts would slip you $1. So there was, there was always other monies to be had somewhere. So, and if you were lucky, you'd win a game and there would be like another $1 in there, or you would get a quarter or something. So, it was amazing. So, so I took a more adult, different perspective on it. So my first thing that I thought was amazing was the St. Joe County, Michigan Democrats. What a bunch of bad motherfuckers those guys are. I swear, because here they are. And we don't get political very much in this show, but I'm just pointing out that St. Joe County, Michigan is it's Trump country down there for real. And the Republican Party pretty much wins St. Joe County with just literally just rolling out of bed in the morning. They don't have to do anything. So you've got the St. Joe County, Michigan Democrats at their spot in one of the merchandise barns, and they are just standing tall in there. And just God bless those women for sitting there and taking a bunch of bullshit that I know they took today. They said it was nice to have somebody come by and not throw a bunch of word salad at them, which is a nice way of saying thanks for not being dicks to us. So so yeah, so I got my sign from them, and I just really enjoyed being able to be there for them and just give them a break from all the BS that I'm sure that they have been encountering hard for the last all 14 of the St. Joe County Democrats, and they're in there, and so
Yeah.
so good job, you guys. You earned some kudos. I always love the ridiculous amounts of food that is available. You touched on it, Chip. It's just that you walk 5 feet and there's butterfly chips, and you walk 5 feet and there's bratwurst. And you walk 5 feet and there's fried cheese. 5 feet there's cotton candy, and 5 more feet and there's this barbecue place or steak tips or whatever you want to eat. You can find it there unless it's vegetables. Unless those vegetables are deep fried. So or
Yeah, if
on
you want
display.
salad, you are out of luck.
On
You're
display.
fucked. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the only vegetables to be found are deep fried, or they're sitting being judged in one of the 4-H barns. So there you go.
They're not for consumption.
No, because there were some nice vegetables
We
in
saw some
that.
beautiful garlic. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yes, we were in the Grange barn and we saw some beautiful garlic and the biggest, weirdest beet in the history of beets. So
Yes. I thought it was a human heart.
Yeah, it's like that's what I was like. Do we grow hearts?
yes. And then of course I had to make the joke. We've got the beet.
Yes, that was the best joke.
Because I'm a dumbass. All right, good. Parking at Patty's is always fun. Patty Bender has parking just like a block away from the entrance over on Charlotte Street. So we parked there because we always do. And Patty's awesome. And my Aunt Vicky was hanging out there, and Barb Robinson was hanging out there, and her friend Denise. So we had a really good time, hanging with those guys. And as always, it's super fun. So yes, parking. If you're gonna park at the St. Joe County Fair, park at Patty's.
Park at Patty's.
$3.
Yes, $3 to park at Patty's. You're super close to the gate, so there's no reason to park anyplace else.
No.
Everything in the merchandise barns and tents just cracks me up. It's so great. It's just this weird mishmash of shit in these barns, and it's like everything from homemade bags to Culligan water to the Michigan Democrats to the Michigan Republicans to that lady selling the weird variety of licorice.
Old-timey.
Any manner of political flags or signs or buttons or hats. God,
Free
what else was in there?
Bibles,
Free Bibles, fudge,
roofing people,
roofing
yeah.
people, siding people, water
Furniture.
people, furniture people, the godly radio station people. Yeah, I could literally talk about this for the next half hour. There's so much shit in those barns. And finally, my favorite thing is just 4-H, and more 4-H, because I think it's such an important thing, and I think it's great that it's still part of the fair. And I've heard rumors that the fair is trying to disassociate itself from 4-H, and I don't know if that's true or not, but that's dumb. So that's all I have to say about that. Keep doing what you're doing, 4-H, and St. Joe County Fair. Keep supporting and pushing 4-H forward because it's important. There was only one teen leadership folder there. Did you notice that, Ann?
Yeah, I remember it was like
Yeah.
a big thing when we were, because Jenny and I learned how to do our public speaking in teen leadership in 4-H because we were
Yes.
teen leaders. So
Mhm.
we learned how to do a poster, an informative poster, and to do our public speaking through 4-H. There's so much shit I learned how to do because of 4-H. It's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, 4-H, and more 4-H. Okay, good. All right, Ann Brothers,
My
your top 5
best
things.
5 things was going with friends. I mean, that is a big, that being able to share this experience with Chip, and I think my sophomore year of college, I brought my roommate and her boyfriend, and that was so fun. I mean, it's just I brought taking my husband. It's just a fun thing to do, to go with friends. And Jenny and I were raised very rural in comparison to a lot of our friends that we went to Eastern with. And so it was just, it's just a fun thing to do and share this part of our culture with them. So I'm so glad Chimp went with us today and that he had a good time. And because it's, it's just, a lot is coming at you.
When we were in college, we would still come home for the fair.
We
That was still
would.
something we did. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah,
Yeah.
so I remember bringing my roommate Rachel, and she's like, "Your family is so nice," and everybody was, just so excited. And that's when my grandma still like she would work the fair at the ticket counter for concerts and stuff, and so she would just open up her house. She would get up early on the last Saturday. She would make a huge vat of sloppy joes, have all the buns there, just leave her house open, and people from friends from I mean all over Michigan, all over Indiana would come and park their car at her place, grab a sloppy joe, and then go to the fair, and then come back and go to the bathroom, and then go to the back to the fair. And when my grandma died, and we had her funeral, so many people stood up and talked about my grandma, Avis. And one of the things they almost all mentioned was being able to go to her house at the fair and how welcoming she was. So that was just, it was being
Yeah, it
able
was
to
an
share
event.
that again
Yeah.
with
That's
friends is what I'm
beautiful.
saying. Yeah.
Oh,
So
Yeah.
I'm glad I
Yeah.
got to do that today. Of course, the fair food, it's just ridiculously caloric and everything is so, every food stand is bright and shiny and dazzling. And man, when you're young, you don't, okay, so when I was young, it was the rides. It was all about the rides. But now that I'm older, it's all about the food. And I'm just like, you can literally put yourself in the hospital with not too much effort. So, and it was fun. And the smells, it's this weird combination of fried food, high sugar being fried, and a slight whiff, depending on how far you are from the animal barns, of animal poop.
Yep.
Yeah, there's a smell to a fair that is distinctly unique to that fair. And it is that, and as soon as we got to Patty's and we started walking over there, I caught a whiff of it, and it was like somebody slapped me in the face with being 10 all over again. Like
Yeah.
somebody just slapped me in the face with being 10, because it's that same, as soon as you would smell that, the excitement would build in you. You're like, we're getting close, and so that was, just for that little second, I was like, my God, that's brings me. That was really. It is a unique and awesome smell. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Of course, the draft horses, and we went in and we went to the when Jenny and I were in 4-H. Nobody was showing goats, and now there's like 3 barns filled with goats. So we got to hang out with the goats.
Oh,
We went and saw the draft horses, of course, which are amazing, and lots of horses. I remember when we were there, maybe there'd be 2 barns of horses. Now there's like 5 barns of horses. Every livestock
Full of
barn
horses.
was
Yeah.
full of animals. So lots of kids. They may not be doing the arts and crafts part of 4-H anymore, the home ec part of it, but man, lots of kids are still showing animals at the fair. So I was really, really glad to see that. And I think my
Definitely.
favorite, of course, was the draft horses. I loved Smoke. I never put my hands on any. Well, I did pet the goats because the goats are pretty patient with you, but all the other animals, I'm like, they are not excited to be here, so I'm just going to give them their special space. The goats are super curious. If they're up at the fence, they're curious about you, like, hey, can I chew on you? But all the other animals, I don't touch them. I just appreciate how awesome they are.
I would appreciate you from a distance.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. So, of course, the 4-H and the Grange exhibits, that's the main, even the food. I love the food, but I really go to the exhibits because there's so much creativity in the world. And if you need a reminder of how creative and energetic people are, you need to go to a 4-H and Grange exhibits to see what people are doing. And of course, my favorite is the crochet. There's a picture of Jenny and I here if you happen to be watching this, and we're standing in front of a crocheted dragon. This whoever, I'm assuming it's a woman, which is a big assumption, but this person made 2 big crocheted dragons. They were amazing. So I'm like, yay! I'm so glad crocheted bikinis are back in style. At least in St. Louis County. So I love the exhibits, and especially I never took crochet. My mom was anti crochet, but she was pro knitting for some weird reason. So I did learn how to knit and sew. But yeah, I always love, because I know that I did not get my stuff done until the night before. So I'm thinking that those crocheted dragons were, just getting finished up that Friday night before they had to be judged. So I know there was some time
in the
and energy
car
put
on
into
the
that.
way to judging. So yeah, there you go.
Exactly. Exactly. And then, of course, number 5 is just remembering where I came from. The fair and 4-H and all this, the family, it all had a big impact on how I create. I think part of my dad is a trained artist. And so I grew up, when I was very young, I thought that the only people that were artists were people that drew or painted. And what I learned, one of the things I learned from 4-H was that there was so much art in the world, and that I could be artistic as well. And that was an important lesson for me. And if I couldn't be an artist, I could at least see it in the people that were around me. So that's where I first learned about art, was in the fair, on what other people were able to produce with their creativity. So there you
Awesome.
go.
Nice.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Super sweet. Yeah. So yeah, and you know, good job, Grange Fair. Still a lot of excitement. A lot of people there today. It was hot today too.
Ooh, it was hot.
Yeah, and it's weird because I can remember, I was talking to Patty Sue, and Patty Sue was telling me today that this is the earliest the fair has ever started. So normally the fair is starting this week, not ending this week. And for whatever reason, they started a little bit earlier this week. But yeah, it was very summery, very hot and humid today. And so I would say if you were out and about there today, you needed to have been careful today because it was warm.
Yeah.
And I felt for the animals because a lot of them looked
Yeah.
pretty uncomfortable. So, but yeah. So Anne has made this list of helpful tips for visiting any fair or festival. Anne, would you like to take us through that list of cool things to do?
I would love to. One, wear closed-toed comfortable shoes for any fair or festival. It's usually crowded, and for the practical reason, you don't want to stub your toe or get stepped on. But also, you're walking around you're
You got to
going
watch
to
where
an
you
animal
step.
barn. You gotta watch where you step. Exactly. So so wear closed-toed shoes. Make sure they're comfortable because you're going to want to walk around a lot. We did,
Yeah.
and that's
Mhm.
how you see the best stuff. Sometimes sitting and the people watching is also fascinating. But yeah, you're like, hey, the only butterfly chip place I saw was on the other end of the Midway, so you got to walk over there. Get your steps in before you eat 3,000 calories of something.
Guilty.
Yeah, exactly. All of us. So investigate where you're going to park. And this is for any fair or festival. Find out how far it is. How far are you going to have to walk? Can you park closer? How much is it going to be? Again, we recommend if you're going to the St. Joseph County Fair to park at Patty's Parking on the corner of Burr Oak and Franklin Street in Centerville. It's only $3. It's only a block away, and she has shade trees, so you might get
Mhm.
lucky and be able to park your car in the shade.
Mm.
Travel light. You don't want to be carrying a bunch of stuff around. I think we stuffed a plastic grocery bag in my pocket, so in case we had anything to carry, we'd have that. But travel light. Small purse that you can sling over your body, something in your pockets, but you don't want to be lugging a bunch of stuff around. And a lot of fairs and festivals will not let you bring backpacks. So keep that in mind too. You want to check on that. Wear sunscreen and a hat. Boy, did we need sunscreen today,
Good
and a
Lord,
hat.
yes.
And we all did that because we need to keep the sun off of us. And I even still got a little extra bit of sun, and I was lathered in it. Bring cash. A lot of places do not accept credit cards when you're at a fair or festival. So bring cash. Also, I'm not sure you want to be handing your cash to a bunch of people that are going to leave the state at the end of the week. So,
You
it's
mean your
fast.
credit card?
Yeah, your credit card. I'm sorry. Yeah, so make sure you bring cash. Stay hydrated. Is
Oh, wait,
Chip
wait.
Jones?
Also, you want to bring cash because if you're trying to get into the fair and they take credit cards, and maybe the two gentlemen that are working the credit card machine aren't super tech savvy and might have some trouble running your card, and then they'll be like, "Hey, this card doesn't work," and then you'll be like, "Okay, I'll just give you some cash."
Cash. Exactly.
True story.
Oh,
Well, we'll just say a
whatever,
couple of men of
boomers.
a certain generation that might have struggled with some technology.
Yeah,
They were adorable.
they were.
They
They
were
were.
super adorable, and I
Yeah,
didn't want to say anything. So they're like, "This card doesn't work." You're like, "Okay, great. Here's some cash. Okay, we're gonna go."
exactly. Yeah, so bring cash in
Just
case,
in
because
case.
you may encounter people who are not credit card savvy.
Correct.
Stay hydrated, as you saw from Chip's big cup. with his belly full of fun. You want to stay hydrated because it was hot. It's hot and sunny, and you're walking around a lot, and it doesn't take much to get overloaded. So stay hydrated. It's an adventure, so have some smart, dumb fun, and take the time to people watch. Definitely.
Oh,
There was we sat on a shady bench while Chip ate his fried Oreos and Jenny ate her deep fried s'more, and it's pretty
It was good
entertaining.
because that's when I ran into Nancy Garman. Because like by sitting there and relaxing,
yes.
that's when I'm like, Nancy Garman just walked by. So we got a chance to watch or to talk with Nancy Garman and her husband Wes for a while, which was a blast. So see, you never know who you're going to run into when you people watch. So
Well, and
there
we
you
saw
go.
that 10-foot tall woman teaching line dancing.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, she was like, because when we got there, she was teaching line dancing, and we left, she was teaching line dancing. And that was
Yeah.
like 2.5 hours later. So I was like, dang, girl, I think that's how she got so tall, was teaching
Yeah.
line
Yeah, and
dancing.
she was tall, and she was
Growing
this is
towards
like
the
that,
sun like a
like that
plant.
girl's like she was like a supermodel teaching a bunch of doughy mouth breathers like me how to line dance,
Yeah.
So
She was very patient, very
she
patient.
was very patient, and
Mhm.
she was rocking those cowboy boots too. She was pulling those
Totally.
off. She could have pulled those off in any 24/7.
Nice.
So
A-
yeah.
Actually,
Well,
I
we-
wish she'd worn a crocheted bikini top. I think that would have been the perfect
Mm,
thing to go with
When
that.
cherry on a Sunday for
we
Central
determined that during the winter months she works the car shows.
Oh yeah, definitely,
Yeah.
definitely.
So this is her
Beautiful,
summer gig.
talented,
So
Mhm.
yes,
could
Yeah.
sell a product.
Exactly. Knows how to move.
Yeah.
So
absolutely knows
Mhm.
how to move. So yes, there you go. All right, so yeah, that's your quick, easy list to follow of ways to take care of yourself for visiting any fair or festival. And it's marginal. I don't love festivals. The closest
Mhm.
thing you'll get me to a festival is going to a fair because I don't have to spend all day there. And I always feel trapped at a festival. And I was like, fairs are nice because you can come and go. So, if you
Yeah.
want to, I'm like, yeah, this is lame. I can go. Or, hey, I think I need a break. I'm going to go back to Patty's and sit in the garage for a while. But, we didn't do that because we didn't need to. 'Cause-
Well,
Well,
and this was
go ahead,
this was
Chip.
just a small thing. Was I loved after we got our tickets, the older gentleman who took our tickets was just so pleasant. And then when we
Mhm.
left, he was like all the same, like have a great day, and joked around with us a little bit. I just loved that.
Because I was
What?
carrying 2 loads of fries back to Patty's
Yes,
house.
that's
So
right.
Well,
Well, I just
the
have to
thing-
say, as
Yeah.
the entertainment expert, I was very entertained today. It
Well, and
was
that's the
very
nice thing about a county fair like that is that you get a lot of volunteers, a lot of people that we saw today that were not at the food booths, but other parts of the fair were volunteering their time. Like so that a lot of people this this is like the biggest social event in St. Joseph County, and I'm not
it really
exaggerating.
is.
Yeah.
So
It
it's
is.
a great place to see people you haven't seen in a long time and talk to people. And it's fun. I mean, the first thing we did when we walked in was that they had a children's tractor pulling. So they had like these little teeny pedal tractors and kids, and it was 3-year-olds. It was adorable. And I'm more of a dog person. So that's how adorable it was. So and that was all that was all run by volunteers.
Yeah.
Volunteers all did that. So all the judging in 4-H, that's all volunteers. So if they are actually thinking about cutting out the 4-H part, they're going to lose a ton of people that volunteer their time to make this an even more successful event.
Well, and a lot of people that go, they go to see the livestock. I mean, yes, people
Yeah.
go for rides and they go for the food and stuff, but there are just as many people that go because this is their thing.
Mhm.
And I am interested. I'm like, I like walking through the 4-H barns. I like walking through the livestock barns. That's a big a deal for me as anything. So, it's fun to see the work and the care that goes into these all this livestock and all these animals that that's years, that's months of work for these kids. Like my friend Jessica, her girls raised and sold pigs at the fair, and just the amount of time it takes to tend to the animals, and just from birth to getting them to the fair, and not just readying them for the fair itself, but raising them and taking care of them and tending to them for the months it takes before you get to the fair. Yeah, it's important. It's an important thing. 4-H absolutely needs to be a part of the fair for sure.
And one thing we did not mention, it's because we're Gen X, is that there's tons of rides. If you want rides or games of chance, there is a ton of that there. We didn't play any games because $5 will buy you a corn dog,
Yeah.
I may not win a game, but I'm going to win with a corn dog. So we
Exactly.
didn't
I will
play any
walk out of there
games
with a corn dog.
or ride any rides because, we're getting to a certain age. And we're like, we're looking at some of these rides. And I was like, oh, I taught that kid in 7th grade. We should not get on that ride, But if you want to do that, and there's tons of like little rides for little kids, so there's a ton of that sort of thing too.
Yes.
And I'm sorry that if that's why you go to the fair, St. Joseph County has all those games of chance and rides, and there's like a beer tent if you're interested in that. They also have a grandstand, as we've mentioned. So if you're interested in tractor pulls or demolition derbies or concerts or horse racing, any of that, there's so much stuff that we didn't even touch on because we were only there for a few hours. But there's so much fun. If you are bored at the fair, it's because you are a boring person.
Hello.
Mhm,
Agreed.
mhm.
Yeah. So no, it has all of the trappings, and we didn't really even work our way out to like they have a whole section where you can go out and look at all the RVs and campers, and
Mhm.
Oh my gosh.
you can literally spend half a day just looking at that stuff. I mean, and there are some sweet ass campers out there that you basically will pay $100,000 for, so or
Oh.
more. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So
So there's something
so
for
yeah.
everyone.
So we decided, Chip and I decided that because today was it was warm today. It was a
Muggy.
I definitely had the booty sweat going
Mhm.
after a while, and Chip and I decided that this should be like an endurance sport. So instead of doing Survivor, you're doing county fair.
Yes.
So
Yeah. And then people can root for us.
Oh
yes.
yeah.
So I'm like, is she gonna get the right French fries? Is that the
Yeah.
right French fries? For her Aunt Vicky, or is this the right pork sandwich?
Do I want caramel corn with nuts or out nuts? I don't know.
There's so many
fudge
fudges
do
to
I
choose from.
Make sure you get
Which
the fudge, but without all the extra crap.
Exactly.
That's
Chocolate
right.
fudge, peanut butter fudge, chocolate fudge with walnuts, chocolate fudge with pecans. Oh.
There's
Payday.
payday fudge. Don't forget the payday fudge.
Yeah. Salted caramel fudge.
That's right.
Oh.
Yes. Oh, yes. We forgot to mention the fudge, which is one of the things in the merchandise barns. Yeah, literally an acre of crap in
Yeah.
105 acres of crap in those mercendise barns,
Absolutely.
and it's just the weirdest, most rando crap. It's great.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Free
So,
Bibles.
whew. Yes. Well, you guys, let's go ahead and wrap this up. We are coming up on our hour mark. You have done it. You have spent an hour or so learning things about stuff with the brothers sisters.
Yes.
This time, you learned all about the St. Joe County Grange Fair, and it happens pretty much in September every year. It is the second to last fair of the year. You've learned all about its association with 4-H, the fact that there's things to do, places to go, people to see, cows to look at, horses to look at, stuff to look at. Food to eat. So much smart, dumb, fun stuff at the St. Joe County Fair. So remember, folks, we want to hear from you. Answer our poll questions, comment, leave us a review, give us your questions, concerns, comments, and confessions.
Ooh.
Your fair confessions.
That's right, your fair confessions. What are the things that you've done at a fair? What are the things that you have eaten at a fair? And what do you consider to be essential eating at a fair? For me, it is a corn dog.
Yes.
For
French fries with vinegar and salt.
There you go. For my Aunt Vicky, it's things like fudge, French fries. So yeah, we walked out of there holding a bunch of food. So for everybody, because that's what you want. So yeah, definitely do those things. And don't forget, you guys, you can support us for free.
Do it.
By liking, following, subscribe, or leaving a review on Spotify, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, or Amazon Music. Put the word out, you guys. We are looking to build a following. Talk to people about us. Say, hey, you should listen to the Brother Sister Smart Tub Fun with entertainment expert Chip Moehle.
Mm-hmm.
Share our podcasts. Tell people that this is worth their time. And again, you guys, you don't have to even listen to us for that long. Just listen for 30 seconds. Like us. Move on. It's okay. We won't
Give
be
it a
hurt.
shot.
Give it a shot. We're episodic television, man. That's
Try
what we
it.
do.
You'll
Okay,
like
good.
it.
Try it, Mike. You like it. That's right. So join us next week when we are joined by beer expert Duncan Williams. He is back, and he is going to talk to us about Oktoberfest, and he is going to answer the question of why. The question that I've been wanting to know the answer to for years. Why is Oktoberfest in September? Yeah.
Excellent question.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. I'll be tuning in.
Hell yeah, you will.
Hell yeah. Hells to the yes.
Hells to the ass. And Duncan Williams is going to answer that question for us, and he's going to answer other questions about beer and stuff because that's what he does.
Mhm.
So until then, I am Janice Brothers, and with me is my sister
And brothers.
and our entertainment expert.
Chip Moehle.
That's right. We are here. We are turning on the outro music. There it
Nice.
is. That's right, you guys. Thanks for joining in. And we want you to get out there. We want you to do something smart, do something dumb, do something fun. We are out of here.
Bye.